So we're live. It's day 3. Toronto Comicon.
Attaboy.
It's day 3. Buddy Richard over here. It's been 3 long days. Sorry, Richard. 3 hot days. We are having a blast. People come on through. Don't let us stop you guys.
Don't wait on us. Come on through.
Come on right through and take some pictures with these guys. Look at these cosplayers over here. It's completely free. It's the final day. We are a little bit early. I don't think I'm going to be in costume for much longer, if I'm 100% honest. And then we have to start packing because it is the last day. So, we're doing this a little bit early. Taking some pictures here. Jeff, how's, first of all, if you guys haven't noticed, Jeff is 501st approved today.
No.
Jeff is 501st approved today,
Incorrect.
and he's wearing a full-blown TK original series Stormtrooper armor.
I am.
The helmets, I don't know where the helmet went.
The helmet
doesn't really matter. How's been your first trooping day?
In the TK. This is not my first trooping day, but in the TK.
Your first actual trooper first day.
Pretty spectacular. The nice part about this is, and I mean this is no disrespect to our 501st brethren and such, because we are all friends, but when you do this with the 501st, there's a bunch of rules that you have to follow. But when you do this with the Geeks and Go, you can do whatever you want.
Well, that's fair.
And I have. But I cannot tell you enough how much I can appreciate our good friend Christina, Sheer Creations, who's over there as the amazing Mandalorian that's been with us for most of the day. This is her Stormtrooper. She came to me and she said, I've had a dream. I've always wanted to try a Spider-Man suit on. I know you've had a couple. If you let me try on one of your suits, I will let you wear my TK armor for the day. For the uninformed, TK Stormtrooper, same thing. And I said, okay, that's a heck of a good deal. So, I got into it this morning. She was good enough to help me get into the armor at about 9:30. And we've been in it ever since. And, it's been a great time. And the response has been wonderful. And now I want one, but I don't have $3,000 to do it. So watch out for my OnlyFans, guys. I got to pay for this somehow.
Guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's been a constant flow of people at the booth again today. Actually, it feels heavier today.
It is.
Than it was yesterday, which is odd because usually the Sunday is kind of the slowest day. But holy cow, is it ever freaking nuts in here today?
So I learned earlier that if you bought a deluxe pass to Fan Expo last year, you got today free as part of your deluxe Fan Expo pass.
Give us a quick second, folks. It looks like, we need to get the actual gimbal started so she can follow along with us. Yeah, let it go. It should go right to it. There you go. And it's all unlocked. Perfect.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, so
now Jen can follow us because I think we're going to walk around a little bit. I know we said we'd walk around for you guys.
It's a zoo.
But holy cow, there's so many people in here that
peanut butter and jammed in here. There's absolutely no way. But maybe we can kind of get down this way a little bit. I know we went down there before, but there are some new things down there.
A little bit anyway.
Or why don't we go visit the Ontario Ghostbusters? Do we do that?
You know what? We haven't done that.
Let's go do that.
Let's go check out the Ontario
Ghostbusters guys some love.
They're kind of at the back. The far back of the building, basically facing the wall. And it looks like there's a little bit of traffic coming through there now, but for most of the weekend, there was zero traffic coming back here, which is really too bad for these guys. Well, here they are, folks, the Ontario Ghostbusters. We actually came through yesterday, I think, in our Predators and took pictures. So guys, if you don't know the Ontario Ghostbusters, they have a massive space, actually. I'm surprised they didn't bring more this year, but if you're looking to bust some ghosts, if you're looking to build yourself a proton pack, these are the people that you want to talk to because they know all the ins and outs. And obviously, like everybody else, they're in it for the kids. They have all the toys and everything. And, they've got the glowing slime.
And they've even got some items for sale. There's some memorabilia you can buy. There's some toys you can buy. So come and support your Ontario Ghostbusters.
You can come here and take a picture with Vigo. You know what I mean?
They've even, if you'll notice, they'll put a proton pack on you. You can get a picture with a proton pack on. That's pretty darn cool. And
actually, I was talking with, I forget what his name is, but a lot of these proton packs are actually metal.
Right.
A lot of them are found parts that they were using back then to build the actual proton pack. So they're actually built in the same manner that the originals were built, which means they're super heavy like they were when they filmed the original movies,
imagine,
right?
Very
So
cool.
we've got the Ontario Ghostbusters. Now, it doesn't matter where you're from. I guarantee you there's a Ghostbusters, what are they called? It's not a troop. They're...
I don't know. I mean, it's part of the community, right? It's going to be a Ghostbusters community booth.
Yeah,
there are regional booths all over the place. That's the Ontario one. So no matter where you're going, you're going to find a contingent of Ghostbusters for sure. So
we should take over the Sonar booth here for a second and do our podcast in their booth. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sonar, the podcast network, guys. They're here. We were lucky enough to meet these guys yesterday. We met them on Friday.
Yes.
I did an interview here as Mr. Freeze.
Yes.
And then Rob did an interview here as Predator. And you didn't do an interview here at all.
I did not,
But
but
do an interview with you today.
No, but we also got to see these guys one more time last night at the incredibly successful Geeks after party, where we probably got, I want to say, at least twice as many people as we thought we were going to get.
I don't know that we were 100, but it felt like we were 100.
We ended up busting out of the space that we had to try to get as many people seated and drinking and eating and having a good time as we possibly could. And at the end of the day, that's kind of what it was. It wasn't really necessarily like to pump us up or to have promoters. It was just people breaking bread together, like-minded individuals. Not everybody was like completely tied in with us, but most of the time it was like degrees of separation. But for the most part, people were there because we've tried to build this community. And
I think a lot of people were looking for a spot to just be able to hang out with their friends, you know, and have a beer and eat some dinner after a long day at the con. And, you know, that's partly why we do this, right, is to hang out with this crazy community. So, you know, that's why we do these after parties, right?
Stay
try
tuned.
To get everybody together.
Yes, because
we're going to keep doing more
moving forward.
Yeah,
there's going to be an after party on the Saturday pretty much every time.
For sure.
Our producer looks a little frustrated right now. I hope she's okay. No, she's not okay. It's not good. It's not
everything
right.
good?
That was a giant sigh I saw her give. So I've seen that look before. I know what that looks like. Well, hopefully things are going to be working out okay.
Hey, it was Star Wars Day today, obviously, with your fantastic Stormtrooper costume, which means we did do another Star Wars meetup today.
We did.
Down in the level 100, yet again.
At 11:30. And
it was bonkers.
Yeah. Fantastic turnout. Absolutely fantastic turnout. We were lucky enough that we had a bunch of members of the 501st, the Rebel Legion, the Mando Mercs. They all came down with us. Our very, very good friend, Plaid Vader, who does the most amazing Chewbacca you've ever seen, not only did the shoot with us, but then came and spent a couple of hours at the booth with us as well, our booth, taking pictures. When we had Chewie there, it was thick and endless pictures, and it was amazing. So big shout out to Plaid Vader for joining us today as Chewbacca.
Sean's Chewie is
Amazing.
The only other Chewie that I've seen, and I haven't even seen it in person, but the only other Chewie that I've seen that's that good is Adam Savage's.
Right.
And the only why Adam Savage's might be better than Sean is because his mouth actually moves.
Right.
Where I don't think Sean's does.
Sean's got a bit of movement in it, but not
beyond that, I mean, Sean's is friggin' amazing. And he's so tall already, right?
Oh, no, it's crazy.
And then he gets an extra 6 inches in those boots and he looks massive.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, why people love seeing him walking around so much because he's...
And I'll tell you what,
7
too.
foot tall, right?
I know we're blowing him up right now, but he also does something that's interesting. Because he's covered and because he looks like just a giant monster, he's very affable when he's in it, too. He's throwing his arms up. He's giving out, like, he's not, like, all imposing because then you're scaring the kids away because you already look scary. He's so inviting and fun and animated.
It feels like Chewie's there.
Yes.
When he's in that costume.
Absolutely.
Sean does an amazing job, dude.
If you get a
Thank
chance,
you so much.
Yeah, if you get a chance to interact with Sean.
I think he is going to be back at our booth, and that's kind of why we actually moved away from the booth because it was already crazy over there. And if he comes back,
no, if he comes back, we won't be able to get anywhere near the booth because it'll be just so thick over there. So
again, guys, the 501st booth, like we were saying, first of all, Christina was nice enough to let you wear this. We had some 501st members join us downstairs. Dean showed up in his new Imperial. What's it called again?
I don't. It's got a name, but I don't know what it is.
I forget what they're called.
It's like Imperial Mando Guard. Like it's a Praetorian Guard, but Mandalorian style. So I don't know what the official name for it is.
Yeah, either way, he showed up, and then he has the new stick that they that they used in that season of Mando.
Yep.
It looks dope.
Dean stuff is always good. Dean McGinnis, he's on here all the time, joins us all the time too. Solid dude. As much shit as I like to give with the 501st. There's so many great people within the organization, and Dean's another one. Costumes are always top-notch, super friendly, super engaging.
We just like to give them a hard time. That's it.
We do.
You know,
some of us more than others.
That's
Hi,
it.
It's me. I'm the problem. Don't forget, though, our friends at the Rebel Legion and the Mandalorian merch as well. I feel like sometimes they kind of get left out there or they get lumped in with the 501st. They're affiliated, but they're separate organizations, separate people running them. They just happen to work together because they're all on a common theme. But some great folks. Come get your picture taken with some of the Star Wars people. But hey, if you don't feel like getting your picture taken with these Star Wars people, it's a whole other group of Star Wars people at this really cool booth called the Geeks and Co. I don't know if you've heard of us, but we had some pretty dope-ass Star Wars cosplay today. Not just mine. We had a Revan, we had a Kylo, we had a Chewie, we had a Mando, we had a Scout
Rob
Trooper.
does a great job as Kylo.
Oh, his Kylo's sick.
I love when Rob's in Kylo and the way he moves.
Okay.
When he does his pose, you can tell he's practiced that pose, right?
I'm going to hope this is a Geeks & Co. exclusive. You are Rob's best friend.
Yeah.
We're just getting into cosplay.
Yeah.
Every cosplay that Rob has put together,
Yeah.
he seems to want to cover his face. He is a handsome dude. The viewers want to know, why do you think that he always wants to have his face covered whenever he's cosplaying?
I can't answer for him.
No, but you are closer to him than anybody else.
What I could tell you is I mostly do the same. Most of my cosplays, I cover my face as well, right? Like Doc Ock, okay, fine. Freeze, I was meant to my face be mostly covered. Revan, my face is usually covered. Predator, my face is covered. It's easier to become a different character when you have that helmet on and they can't see that there's a person inside. All of a sudden, you're that character. And it's no longer a costume, it's cosplay. Right? So, I don't know. I can't answer for Rob, but for me, there is a psychological thing there when you put that thing on.
Fair enough. Hi, cutie. We really appreciate you tuning in. Now, if you would like to fuck off, that would be great. So, anyways, she knows I love her. Well, parts of her anyway, and the fun parts, of course.
And we miss you. You should be here this weekend. I know you don't usually come to Toronto Comicon. Well, we can't wait to see you at Fan Expo. Hopefully, you're coming down for Fan Expo.
Yeah, you better get your ass down here for Fan Expo, because that's a non-negotiable.
These guys here have been really, really busy this weekend. And I think our buddy Wayne, the cosplay medic, has also been really, really busy this weekend because I've barely seen him at all.
No.
I bumped into him earlier today and I was like, hey, and we hugged and then I had to move on. But obviously, we come dressed in all these different costumes and sometimes it's as easy as just a t-shirt all the way up to a full-blown TK armor. But there's one thing's for sure. 75% of the time you go out in costume, you're going to break something. Something's going to happen to your costume. These are the people that help people get these fixed. And all they ask for is that you consider giving them a donation. And those donations go to the Canadian Breast, well, specifically these guys.
The Canadian Breast Cancer Foundation?
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. If you've probably seen them before, too, and I mentioned this in the earlier podcast, but if you see these guys at Niagara or Hamilton, they're also they've got a photo booth set up with professional photographers, but here it is the Relax, Repair, Refresh. They used to have them in a room, like a separate room that you would be able to go into. Now they've got them out here kind of on the main floor in the community booths. I think this is probably the better way to go. But yes, if you're having a problem with your costume and you can't find the Cosplay Medic, the Cosplay for Your Cure folks, amazing. You guys may not know this, but this con in particular, the Cosplay Medic decided to team up with the Geeks & Company, kind of have us as a home base, and we're happy to collaborate with the local legend, the Cosplay Medic.
Can you believe how many people are still in here?
No,
do you want to try to venture through there quickly?
No.
I mean, it's a little scary.
If you're asking me honestly,
point.
the answer is no, but I mean, if you want to try.
So maybe we can get a better perspective of what I was trying to explain on Friday about how this is set up. So everything that you can't see that is behind the camera is the community zone, what we've been traveling basically all weekend. Everything in front of you is the rest of the con. Yeah, so this is the community zone behind us here. So we're all here. We're in the left corner there.
And then everyone else that we kind of just introduced you to is all within the community zone. And then it's almost like clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right type thing. You've got your artist alley here on the right as you're facing it, and then you have a lot of your vendors on the left.
There are a few artists mixed in there.
Yes, but
artist
for the
alley
most
is on
part,
the right.
They've got them separated out.
Correct. Which I like this layout because look at the nice big wide alley that it gives them right down the middle, which is still always packed, but I don't know. It feels more like they thought how to plan this out. They put some thought into the layout. This is one of the better layouts that I've seen in a lot of
Yeah,
long
I
time.
can't even disagree with that. It's the way they've got it set up. As well, they got the Star Wars trading card game of some kind that they've got laid out there as well. That's been popular all weekend. Obviously, all the Funko stuff and everything else. But a lot of the times, like we talked about before, there's kind of a separation, right? Like, you're probably here to visit some of the vendors, but you also want to see some of the cool handmade art and crafts that everybody in Artist Alley ends up doing. And the only way for you to do that is to come through here on the right-hand side from where we are now and go see some of the amazing art. Some of it's lithographs, some of it's hollow, some of it's 3D. You name it.
And there's a lot of stuff.
Especially if you like anime. If anime is your thing, this is for it feels a little bit like Anime North sometimes here at the Toronto Cons now because it's had such a huge impact on the geek and nerd community. It's really blown up. And the artists that are getting into doing this and bringing you all these different pieces that are based off anime are doing such an amazing job. But still, it's not all anime. You can get into really cool stuff. The Batman Who Laughs. Sorry, go ahead. Some Spider-Man and Venom. So it's not all. I don't want to give you guys the impression that it's nothing but anime. There's all kinds of superhero stuff in here as well. DC, Marvel, you name it. But I'd be remiss in not reminding you that there is definitely some anime stuff blowing up here. You got your Ninja Turtles, you got your X-Men.
I came through here quickly, I think it was yesterday, and there's a lot of really cool vendors this year, or artists, I should say, in Artist Alley this year.
And quite a few people
there's
doing
a lot of new things that I'm seeing. There's a lot of new styles that I'm seeing.
And what I've enjoyed is seeing people also doing their original creation. So it's not an intellectual property. It's not a franchise. They're making art for the love of making art
look at this,
with their own creations. There's quite a bit of that, too, that's happening. And that I really appreciate. That I really enjoy. Watching someone kind of flex their artist muscles and bring you some original pieces that you otherwise would never see. And then there's cats.
There is. This is actually pretty funny. I was looking through some of these yesterday.
Yes.
And some of these are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Geeky Pet is where we're at, as you can see. And I mean, honestly, if you love your pets and you see one here that looks similar to one of your pets, I don't know how you wouldn't pick one of these up. Amazing. And across all genres, including my main man down there, Negan.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely. You got some Star Trek, you've got some Marvel, you got some DC, you got some Mando. Look, it's me. You got the Infinity Gauntlet, right?
See? Jeff's right here.
Yeah. It's me in cat form. Meow. So this is what we're talking about, guys. This is fantastic because this is like original artwork based on properties that you already know and love. It's not just a reproduction of whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that either. But if you can get like a unique piece like this, I mean, how could you resist?
Now, there's so many friggin' vendors in here that, our friend Debbie.
Yes, Debbie's vending.
She has a table in here. And
our friend Stephanie, who I think is literally right there.
I found Stephanie. You know what? Let's make our way down there.
Yeah, we'll try to hit Red Moon Glassworks.
Yeah, I haven't been able to find Debbie.
No, neither have I. Well, I don't think she's been at the booth a lot. I think Debbie gets, we're talking about Darkly Design, guys, if you don't know. And I think she has a couple of helpers that help her out with the booth and gives her a chance to wander around.
I'm seeing a lot of these as well this year. The metal,
the lithographs,
like the display style posters.
Yep.
There's a lot of them this year, and some of them are really, really cool. By the way, some of them are fully custom. A lot of these seem to be reproductions of stuff.
100% reproductions. And it's a very specific style. Mm-hmm. It's like Liefeld meets Jim Lee type of thing. It's that very like 90s comic boom style. Yeah. So if that's the style you're into, it's pretty great to have.
What you're seeing here, folks, is, that's right, Red Moon Glassworks.
This is Stephanie. She was on the program months ago talking about if you've got, hey Geeks, it's Collaborated Cosplay. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Hey guys, this is Ben Pritchard. What's happening? If you are into custom etched glass, if you need a flask, whatever it is that you're going to be into, Stephanie's going to have it if it's going to be some sort of an etching. And she travels all over Canada all year long. I don't know how she does it.
Yeah, she does. Ottawa,
wears
Montreal, Toronto. You did Edmonton last year? Calgary, Vancouver. Wow, okay, so she does all of the big cons.
Yes, and she's also a teacher. And she also is part owner and runner of a bar and gaming lounge. And then she does all this. And I don't know how she's not 3 people. I don't know where she finds the time for all that because there's no effing way I could do
some
all
of these
of that
are really
at once,
cool.
So.
I mean, there's a... You had the whole sets with the carafes last year. Do you still sell those?
She said it's
she
hard
said,
to bring them to shows because it gets a little tippy, and that makes sense. Absolutely.
Yeah, the Star Trek one you had was, yeah. So they have all sorts of designs. They make them all themselves, all laser etched, right? You were saying, yeah.
Very, very
So guys,
cool.
check it out. Red Moon Glassworks on
Instagram, everywhere. Just like
Instagram.
CDTV, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
That's right.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Thank you, Steph.
So yeah, so I think we're gonna try to maybe loop back around.
Yep, that's a good idea.
Actually, it looks like it might be thinning out a little bit now.
Christine is probably like, where the hell did he go with my armor? As I rapidly run away and exit the building, taking off, absconding with her TK armor. Hunt me down and kill me for it.
I think she knows where you live, bud.
Yeah, probably. T-shirt vendors, guys, pillow vendors, mystery boxes. Still lots of mystery boxes, too. That's absolutely still a thing. You get, of course, your usual complement of 5 or 6 different vendor booths selling the exact same lightsabers.
At the front, there seems to be a lot of action figures, pop vinyls, statues, busts. A lot of those vendors at the front. The Lego minifig guys I didn't see this year. They don't seem to be here.
No, I didn't see them. I didn't see the Blockhead people either. So, yeah, I mean, vendors do come and go out of the space, and there is only so much space. Remember, this is not Fan Expo. It's only one half of the Metrotron Convention Center. We're in the north. The south building is not part of this feature, so there are only so many vendors that you can jam into these places.
And I love that, I know this is Toronto Comicon, but I feel like at one point we kind of lost the comic books.
A little bit. There are a couple of guys here doing them. It's got to be a tough road to hoe. The comic book industry itself is a dying industry. I don't think we'd be telling tall tales if we didn't say that. So
now the show is offering exclusives. Well, I don't think they're necessarily exclusive to Toronto Comicon, but they are limited edition comics that I believe you can get signed. You can buy them signed by the artists or the author or whoever they may have access to that is involved in this.
Let's be fair. Good on Toronto Comic Con for continuing to bring in comic book artists as well. There's a whole back row of dozens of comic book artists that are here. Some of them work for the big two. Some of them are independent comic artists. Some of them are small scale comic artists. They're still doing comic book artists, bringing them in here so people can meet them, keep the genre alive. Guys, go to your local comic store and buy comics so we can keep buying comics moving forward.
Yeah, that's been a big issue, right? I mean, the industry seems to be getting bigger and bigger, but the comic book stores themselves aren't selling comics anymore. So if we want comic books to keep existing and if we want new characters and new stories, go support your local shops. That's the only way they'll keep going, 100%. If you haven't heard about Star Wars Unlimited, I don't know how old this game is. I feel like it's fairly new. It's their first time here, that's for sure. So it's a trading card.
Yeah, a tabletop trading card game.
Yeah.
I want to say probably in the same vein as like a Magic the Gathering.
That's what it looks like.
That type of thing. Because it is live. It's not digital like a Hearthstone or what have you, but again, this is another genre where I feel like we're moving slowly away from this, and a lot of this is turning digital, so it's good to see people sitting across from each other at an actual table, physically interacting with each other, playing a card game.
There's been people playing here all freaking weekend, so people are clearly liking the game.
And I think what's happening is, it's demo, so I think a lot of these guys are here to help people learn how to play it so they can get them interested in the game and get them purchasing it. And again, guys, it's based on Star Wars, and if you can't tell, we're kind of fans of Star Wars here at the Geeks and
Hey, it is Star Wars Day today at Toronto Comicon.
So it makes sense. And like Jason said, I haven't seen anybody over here looking like upset or pissed off. Like they all look like they're having a great time playing the game. So
you got like little kids all the way to full-grown adults, right?
Yeah.
So
it's called Star Wars Unlimited, and I mean, if you want to check it out, you're not going to be here. I'm sure you can find it online, and it's a great short trooper, by the way. Love it. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
So this is a little bit of a tour of the floor. I mean, like I said, we can't go too far. It's just too complicated to get all the way down there. The far back are the celebrities, which
we're not going to get anywhere near.
There's not a lot of celebrities here this year. I feel like
no.
The celebrities that we got are basically people that are filming here in town now. So, again, we got Anson Mount and...
we don't now, because apparently he left yesterday.
Oh, well, there you go.
That's
So, what about Ethan Peck? Is he still here?
I believe he's still here.
So, Spock is still here.
Yep.
I forget who else. There's a couple shows that are filming right now that we've got casts that are here.
What We Do in the Shadows is going to be this year as well.
But, that's about it.
Yeah. They were light on guests for this one for sure. So
when it's Fan Expo, the whole back wall is celebrities.
Yes, but like I said, now that whole back wall is comic book creators.
Correct.
So I like
nice.
the diversity of it.
Yeah,
yes, for sure.
One of the things that I'm hoping I'm going to see more of is as people don't buy comic books anymore, right? Comic book stores are shutting down. You were just talking about that. I'm hoping that at least people go support the artists.
Right.
Because if people support the artists, at least they're able to make a living touring on these, con circuits and stuff like that. And
absolutely.
They can still draw and make a living from their art, right?
Yep.
So at the very least, if you're not buying the comic books anymore, go support the local comic book artists.
Absolutely.
Actually, they're not even local. Some of them are from everywhere.
All over the place. Yeah, and there's some pretty world famous comic book artists over there that have worked on some big books. So. And a lot of people don't know this. In a lot of cases, they won't charge you to sign a book. Some of the bigger guys will, but a lot of the smaller people, they're happy to hand out their signature for free. A lot of the times, they're happy to talk to you about their comics for free. So there's not very many things here at Toronto Comicon you can do for free other than get your picture with the Geeks and Company.
And with the indie comic industry blowing up right now, this
Getting
is the only way you're.
opportunity.
Exactly. Yeah. This is the only way you're going to find out about some of these comic books, right? So go check them out for sure.
For sure.
Are we about to wrap it up here?
Yeah, I think so. It's been a great con, guys. All the meetups went super, super well. The after party was more than we could have ever imagined.
Crazy.
The booth has been fantastic to us. Our booth mates and everyone around us has been so understanding, so wonderful. We've all been trying to kind of pump each other up through the whole thing because we're a community, and that's what we're trying to do is bring the community together and pump each other up, not let each other down. And I think that was great this weekend. So
big thanks to producer Jen, who handled the camera all weekend, who got us dressed, who fed us food, who basically has been our mother for 3 days. So thank you very much.
Don't cry.
Jamie. Jamie's been looking after the booth all weekend again. She's the only one that, well, not the only one, but she's the one that gives us the opportunity to be able to usually go around and walk around and do things. She's helping us out right now, but security, there you go. So that worked out well. Thank you very much. Meg Han.
Secondhand shoes.
Meg, Secondhand Shoes, for setting up the after party yesterday. Thank you so much. That was amazing. We couldn't have done it without her because she paid for the deposit. She worked out all the coordination of the event, reservations, etc. So that was fantastic. I'm sure I'm forgetting people, but there's a bunch of people that were obviously clearly involved. Sean for bringing his Chewy. Christina, Michael, Crazy Mike.
Again, Wayne, we mentioned the Cosplay Medic earlier.
Yeah.
So many different
Andrew and Natasha
spent all day Friday with us. That was great. And thank you guys. Again, there is no this without you. So all of you have been watching, all of you have been supporting, all of you have been buying the merch. The merch has been selling well. All of that stuff, guys. Thank you so much for all your support. We couldn't be doing this without you. We're hoping to go bigger and better. We've been talking to our friends next to us at the Canadian Podcast Awards. They've given us a couple of ideas to maybe help starting to grow a little bit beyond our little local grassroots issues. So stay tuned for some of that. Otherwise, anything else you want to say? Oh, and Rob. Obviously Rob.
Clearly.
Rob's been killing it all weekend long. So
I don't think Rob needs to thank. Rob is pretty much just as part of this as anybody else at this point. So
agreed.
If you want to help support us, if you want to help support what we do, if you want to see more from us here at these cons, like Jeff was saying, check out our merch. We would love if you check out our store.
Share, follow, subscribe, but share. Get people to see our stuff, whether it be the builds videos, the PSAs, the taste tests, the podcast, whatever it is. Get people to the site, get them subscribed so we can keep growing the channel more and more and do more and more things for you guys to bring you the best fan experience possible.
Yeah, I think that's going to be it, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay geeky. We'll see you on Thursday for our post-Comic-Con show. Sorry, our post-Toronto Comic-Con show.
I love you.